Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in to what's going to be my March favorites. It is that time, so I think we all know what this is about. It's kind of a small group this month, I feel like. I've been trying a lot of new products and some of them have not been working out for me. So as a result, I have some carryovers that I'm not gonna spend too much time on because I've been mentioning them. They're repeats. I've been mentioning them over the past couple of favorites videos, and then I have some newbies that I'm gonna dive into and one fail. It's a great product, but a part of it is a fail. We'll talk about that more later. Let's go ahead and dive in. First up are some repeats. I've been loving the same base, Tarte Shape Tape, kind of a no-brainer. Mine is in the shade Light Neutral. Love it in the under eye area, and then to spot conceal around the face, and then to set that I use the NYX HD Finishing Powder. Clearly have had a little bit of a love affair with that. This is in the shade Banana. It kind of cancels out the discoloration of my eyes, but honestly I've taken to using it. Is that even the right way to say that? Well, we're gonna go with it. I've used it all over my face, even though the yellow is technically supposed to be great for canceling out any discoloration in the under eye. I use it to set the concealer wherever I apply it, and it's been doing me well. So that's all I have to say about that. Another carryover from last month is the Sephora Lash Craft Length and Volume Mascara. This is a sample from my Play by Sephora. It has lasted me 2 months now, so for anyone who is wondering about the longevity of the products, even if they are a deluxe sample size that you get in those sort of subscription services, when you commit yourself to them, you can use them longer than you thought you could. I love this guy. I love the way for those of you who might know, I am looking for the perfect combination of volume and length. My lashes tend to curl naturally, so I'm not too concerned with a mascara that can do that for me. And I mean, I want it to hold the shape, but I'm not so concerned with the curling action. Volume and length are my main concern. This guy does everything I could ask for and more. When it craps out on me, I will absolutely be buying a full size, because the other great thing about this is it's 12 bucks a tube, which is super competitive with drugstores at this point. So yeah, I love this. Next up are some eyeshadow primers. I have really been liking pretty much the whole collection of the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primers. They sent these to me a couple weeks back. There are 5 shades in the collection. There is a pure white, then there are 3 skin tones. There's light, medium, and dark. Yes, and then there is smoke, which is kind of a grayer, smokier base. You get the idea. It's not black like the outside might indicate. But basically these are very buildable lid primers, and kind of at the time these arrived, I had been using and liking for the most part the Maybelline Master Prime Long Lasting Eyeshadow Bases. I like these because they're opaque over the lid. For the longest time it had been hard to find a drugstore eyeshadow base that when put over the lid was opaque. I have some very fine like capillaries, you know, things like that that show through on my eyelid, and sometimes I just want to cancel that out and create a nice clean canvas for any eyeshadows that I want to put over top. And while the Maybelline Master Prime had been doing a good job at that, it's only layerable to a certain point before it starts looking kind of cakey, and then even at that point I feel like it doesn't extend the life of the eyeshadow as much as I would want it to. It's still a very good eyeshadow primer, but like when you're pulling long hauls during the day, this doesn't quite stand up to the test of time. So I almost bought a MAC paint pot. If I'm being honest, I was watching someone's throwback video and they pulled out a paint pot, and I was like, you know what, I really did love Painterly and the way it went on totally opaque, but before I could go out and buy one of those, these arrived, and I have to say I really like them, maybe even more so. Granted, I haven't used a MAC paint pot in ages, but I think I might like these more because they're a little layerable. The format here is that they come in a tube, obviously, and then you get a doe foot applicator, and so you can kind of build and apply them. I like to put a little dab across the lid and then take a brush or my finger and blend it out. A brush is really great if you're using a deeper shade, a shade that's a little bit deeper than your skin tone. In fact, in a video a little while back, I was only wearing the dark shade across my eyelid, so it's great if this matches your skin tone and it just evens out the skin tone on your eyelids, or you can wear it as a standalone eyeshadow like I did, where I just applied a little bit to my lid and then took a brush and then blended it out so it was a really seamless transition throughout the crease. Wear it alone, wear it under a base, but basically they just presented a little bit more versatility. I think the softer creamy texture of them makes them a little more blendable compared to a paint pot. So they act more as a blendable cream shadow, a blendable layerable cream shadow. Long story short, I love them for all of those reasons, and so if you have been looking for a new good opaque eyeshadow base that lasts all day, seriously, in terms of longevity, it's amazing. So it actually does its job in addition to being a good color base under your shadow. But yeah, if you're looking for any of that, I really recommend these. For my brows, I found a new love. This is the Soap & Glory Archery 2-in-1 Brow Sculpting and Setting tool, whatever it is. On the one side you have an angled brow filler. This is the actual like pencil part, very similar in shape to Hourglass has one like this. A couple of our brands do this shape, but I just like it because it's good to kind of get the hair-like texture up here, but also broad enough to where you can really fill in your brows where you need less texture and more just overall filling. Good shape on that end, and then on the other end you have a spoolie and an actual brow gel. Now this is a clear brow gel. I compared this in a duper dud to the Trestique, very similar to this, but it had a tinted brow gel. I find I don't need to, like, I'm not looking to make my brow hairs match my hair color or cover any grays or things like that, which are instances where you might want a tinted brow gel. I don't need that so much, so this is great for me, and it's about half the price of the Trestique. And so this, and also I find after having used it for a longer period of time that this brow gel sets more firmly. I was about to say concretely, and like, you don't want concrete on your brows. Sets more firmly on your brows than the Trestique, and so that is also always a plus. The next favorite is also a fail. As I was going, it was probably a little over a month ago at this point that I've done a run through of my whole makeup collection, and so I took a pretty thorough inventory. I made sure that everything I had was still in date. Like anything that was out of date I either gave away or donated or trashed entirely if it was too old. I thought I was up to speed on everything, and so when I dug this highlight trio from City Color out of my drawer, I was like, score! These are some amazing highlighters. I put an actual dent into this middle shade right here. I'm wearing it right now today. It just gives like this pop-in highlight, but for a bargain, like I think this couldn't have been more than $5. City Color overall is a very underrated brand here on YouTube and very affordable, like e.l.f. level affordable, sometimes even better than e.l.f. And yeah, I was just so impressed to find this, only to want to include it in my favorites video and find that it's no longer available. So bummer. I'm gonna have to, I'll either, if I can't find it before I post the video, I'll try and put it in the description, but if I can't find it before I post the video, maybe I'll do a follow-up video that's like dupe to this. The hard part is though, this was so affordable, it's gonna be hard to beat the price, but I'll see if I can find a dupe for the texture and the color payoff and things like that. But man, what a bummer, because this is amazing. There are actually two shades. This is collection 1 and I think collection 2 is a little bit deeper. But let's finish this video off on a high note. I have two lip products that I've really been liking this month. One is, it's called a Chrome Glaze, I believe, from Pure Cosmetics. This is the shade Squad, and this is what I'm currently wearing now. I have the whole collection of both this and the other product that, or the collection that I really like, and this is the Pure Matte. They don't actually call out what the line this is from is, but basically one is a matte and one is chrome. The chrome is a lip gloss and the matte is like a fluffy lip mousse. I'll have a review coming out of all the shades here because I will say not all shades are created equal in these collections. Not all perform the way that I would want all of them to, but these two shades in particular have been my absolute go-tos. This one is for like the everyday perfect gloss. It's not a sticky sort of texture. It doesn't bleed outside your lip lines. I don't wear a liner with this, and it's super easy. It has kind of a pointed doe foot applicator, which I think is perfect for getting, you know, in the inner corners over here while still just being able to quickly apply it all over the lips with just a couple swipes. So very convenient, very universally flattering for a lot of the daytime, even I would say nighttime. Like this is a kind of a more dramatic eye look. It's a nice pairing with that, which by the way is the shade Squad from that glazed or chrome line. And then in the matte line, this is the shade Innocent, and again, it's just a nice everyday neutral if I want more of a matte pairing. This collection is like putting a mousse. It's actually very similar to the NYX mousse. I'm totally blanking on what's it called right now, but it's that collection. It's the one where all of the lip colors are named after cities. I will list it in the description bar below if I can think of it, or I'll pop an annotation up here if I can. But the texture is very, very similar, if not lighter. They apply very similarly. These don't dry down totally matte. There is a little bit of transfer, but I find if you blot, and again, this is inconsistent across all the shades, but for the lighter shades in particular in this collection, I find if you blot on a tissue or something beforehand, then most of the excess gets pulled off, and it is somewhat transfer proof, and the longevity just goes through the roof. To top it all off, that moussey texture keeps your lips feeling really comfortable and non-drying, so you have this semi non-transferable comfortable lip color. So yeah, long story short, I have really been liking those, but be sure and stay tuned for a full review of the collection because like I said, it's kind of nuanced with the shades that are involved. There are 6 shades in the chrome and 7 in the matte, so I'll do full lip swatches and arm swatches of all those, as well as talk about variations in shades, yes, and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. Maybe hit the bell icon. I haven't asked for that before, but a couple of you recently have been telling me that my videos haven't been showing up in your feed, and so I know that's been an issue, but I've only been hearing it from you guys recently. So yeah, in case you're not sure if these are showing up, just hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload so you don't miss it if you're curious. But that is it from me. Those are all of my favorites for the month of March. As usual, I'd love to hear yours. Let me know, tell me in the comment section below. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.